Taurus Rising, May 2021. So I mean, first off, your first house spotlight is on you, and there's a bit of a serious tone to it with really taking on responsibility. If you're excited to dive into the astrology and a bit of what the tarot has in store for you this May, make sure that you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Not sponsored, but if you do want to use my affiliate link, because it's a place I use, I trust, and I like to recommend, that will be linked down below. If you're new here, hi, I'm Maren. I am a Western astrologer using the tropical zodiac. I also use whole sign houses, so no matter what the degree of your ascendant is in the sign, whether it's 0 or 29 degrees, this will still apply regardless because I'm using the entire whole sign house system. So starting out, the sun will conjoin Uranus in your first house from the 1st to the 3rd. Breakthrough responsibility that you're suddenly stepping into, like not unexpectedly, but all of a sudden, you have to fulfill a role. You have to be the leader. You have to be the visionary. And this is at odds with Saturn in your 10th house. You're getting some pressure or some restriction from what people think in your career. So that's really the tone for the beginning of the month, is this like, oh my god, I have to step up and do this suddenly, and what is my career, my long-term boss, like people in power are gonna think of me. On the 8th, Venus in your first house. So Venus dignified at home in your first house. Lovely. I love Venus in the first. Generally, we're beautiful, attractive to everyone. It's really harmonious and great. It will be squaring Jupiter in Aquarius, so the fact that you're coming across very attractive and cute and well is helping you get something at work. It kind of solves the sudden responsibility kind of thing on your end. On the 11th, there's then a new moon in your first house, a really like fertile new beginning. It's not in your pregnancy house. I mean, like almost with your identity, like you're able to implement something solid and new based on what you're now having to adopt that's suddenly taking over your life and who you are, because this is a pretty sudden month of you stepping up into a new level of responsibility that is quite original, it's quite sudden, and it might involve your body as well, that you're having to take care of your body in a new way. On the 20th, the sun in your first house is squaring Jupiter in your 10th house. You're now getting helped out by your career in order to kind of feel more confident in the responsibility that you're taking on. So at first you were like, oh my god, can I do this? This was sudden, this was a lot. Then you're like, okay, let me like schmooze my way in, and now the people that you've had to schmooze your way in with are helping you step up to the plate. So it's this reciprocity of like, I scratch your back, you scratch mine. You're now playing with the big guys, it looks like, that you're on par with the boss or an authority figure with the amount of back and forth that you're having to kind of negotiate. On the 21st through the 24th, Mercury in your 2nd house will be square Neptune in your 11th. So watch out about speaking on anything financial and being deluded or dissuaded by a group that does not have your best interest. Make sure that if you're signing any contract or doing anything that deals with money, that you're very, very clear and that you're getting an outside perspective and not interacting with a group of people that might not have your best interest. On the 26th, there's a lunar eclipse in your Sagittarius 8th house, a high point, a kind of a celebration that is starting to end a chapter. It's like the final party of the semester kind of energy, but it's in a house around actually investments and shared resources in your life. It could mean that you're like exiting a relationship and you get to take your pets and your money and your mattress and run finally. It could mean that you, for example, you invested money a couple months or years ago and that you finally get the returns back and you're like, yay, I get to end this allocation, like I'm good to go. On the 27th, Venus in your Gemini 2nd house is then squaring Neptune in your Pisces 11th. So now it looks like you're getting money and you have to make sure that the people who are also involved with this have your best interests. You're very, very clear, because it's like good things coming your way financially this month after you take on responsibility, but you want to make sure that you're on the same page with all parties involved. On the 28th through the 29th, Mercury is then conjunct Venus in your Gemini 2nd house. This looks like when you are able to negotiate things in your favor financially to get the end result on what you've been working so hard for. So it's definitely a tumultuous month, but like it's a fun ride. It's a fun ride, I'd say. So if you already know how this is showing it for you in your own chart, I would love to hear from you from a comment down below before we get into what the cards have to confirm. So Taurus Rising tarot card, we have the Knight of Cups. How are you filling up your emotional cup? You're gonna have to save yourself. This is what it shows here. You are at it kind of alone and you're gonna have to step up and save yourself. You are writing to fill that emotional cup. No one else is gonna kind of provide it for you. So for example, I can think of my own life, like I had to go from validation through like likes and follows to validation through content that really feels aligned. That's kind of similar here. You're having to go from like the validation of being able to win people over to providing something sustainable. The Amio card that we have coming up is Aquarius, change, free yourself, engage in collective projects. There's a lot going on in your Aquarius 10th house, so I think this is alluding to the emphasis on career and doing that in a new grounded way. So if you enjoyed this, I do have my membership community below for exclusive content, early access to different offerings, and a really amazing community of like-minded astrology enthusiasts. We meet every new and full moon for really chats around that season to discuss and bring on healers and professionals in the field. And check out Swan Bitcoin down below. If you're interested in getting it in a safe, recurring dollar cost averaging way, I highly recommend and encourage you to use Swan. But otherwise, let me know any thoughts you have that have come up. Let me know anything that you're looking forward to in the month ahead, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.
Yeah. Yeah. You must be blinded by the lights. We came to shine here. Watch it look daytime in the night.